Welcome everyone to another episode of Strife on the Mic. This time we're going to be talking about professional wrestling. And we got special guest tonight with Kronicz from the most extreme wrestling and Kristol.
Awesome.
Hello.
Here we are.
I'm sorry that you couldn't see Kronicz doing his hand gestures along with you, because he totally did them.
I was doing them too.
That's very essential.
It's your trademark.
Yes.
It's like your thing. Cena waves his hand in front of his face like he can't see, or Punk does the X thing. You have your
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're all on YouTube and we're all on Twitter. Kristol's MXW Kristol. I'm MXW Kronicz, and you are. How do you say your name on Twitter?
Strife 17.
And your anime
That was
rocker.
hard.
Come on. And then it's anime rocker 17 on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yes, got it correct. All right, what are we talking about today, my man?
Okay, today I want to address the current state of the WWE, because years ago, after the Attitude Era was good and done, Vince McMahon, I suppose, wanted to find his next big star, and while Triple H was being the king of kings, or whatever he likes to call himself, here comes two guys, John Cena and Randy Orton.
Right.
And right after they showed up, for several years, and it might still be going on today, the WWE has been focused on these two guys, saying, you guys are great stars, you guys are great, you're going to be perfect, you're going to make up billions of dollars, and everyone else, just keep yourselves busy, just don't bother these two. And because of that, we got two stars that only half of the audience actually likes, and everyone else is just sort of there, trying to keep themselves busy.
Okay.
And that's what I want to talk about, because to me, that's what it looks like. The WWE is so focused on John Cena and Randy Orton, then even when John Cena is not the WWE champion, he still gets the main event on every pay-per-view.
I mean, part of that you can't blame the WWE for, though. I mean, part of it you probably can, but some of it they're just reacting to the demand. I mean, especially with them shifting their target market to be more towards younger kids, and that probably driving a large portion of their revenue, I would assume, with sales and whatnot, that, you know, I mean, you could make the argument that they're just giving people what they want. They're just, you know, they're only supplying people with what's going to make them the most money. However, I mean, obviously you can't neglect the younger stars, but I do think that's getting better with the rise of Dolph Ziggler and whatnot, but
Well,
that's just me.
I mean, I guess to arrive at the point that we're at now, we have to start at the beginning, right? I mean, Vince McMahon took a wrestling industry that was kind of regional and everything. He grabbed Hulk Hogan, who already had a name built in and a gimmick built in. He made it super marketable and made the WWF at the time like a big, huge conglomerate. So, I mean, at the time, it was pretty much just Hogan, you know, for many years.
True.
At least for the WWF side. You know, you get to 91 or 92, things start coming down a little bit because you got the steroid trials, you know, Congress.
Steroid trials.
I mean, Congress is after. You have these accusations that Pat Patterson is having sex with ring boys and weird stuff. So,
Ugh.
What does this? What?
well, I'm just
does
saying.
this
I'm
have
just
to
saying.
do with anything?
Kind of.
Yeah, how did you take what I said to Pat Patterson having sex with Ring Boy?
That's what I'm wondering.
I'm saying, you're talking about the rise and fall of business. When you get to 92, things start coming down a little bit, right?
Well, you're going way back.
Well, I mean, you have to get to today, and then, you know, 93, 94, they didn't really have, like, a huge star other than Shawn Michaels, I guess, and then, you know, you get Stone Cold, you get The Rock start building up, and all these Attitude Era guys. You have, like, some of the biggest stars of all time, the Attitude Era balloons like crazy, and then for me, after the invasion angle, after absorbing WCW and ECW and all the stars in the world, they kind of screwed that one up. Business started falling down a little bit. And then we get to an interesting point in time, 2006 and 2007. And for me...
That's actually when I started watching.
Which is kind of ironic, I guess. But for me, it kind of fell off the rails a little bit. I want to ask you about that, because you know, before we started this episode, you were telling me about 2007 not being like the greatest of times, I guess. And I guess that was the first time we start getting like huge pushes of John Cena.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. That was the point in time in which they started shoving, John Cena and Randy Orton and kind of neglecting everybody else. And so now that they're huge stars, maybe they're not.
There's no one else for them. There's no one for them to fight, basically.
I mean, that is true because, I don't know, it seems like there's this rotating... There's not like a good, solid heel. I guess you have the Big Show now, but that's kind of a recent development making him heel.
Well,
like I do feel like it's lacking in like a good heel.
Well, my thing is, my point in my whole diatribe is that all through time, there really only was one or two guys that was up at the top, right?
Okay, so that's your point. Okay, I understand now. I mean, that's true. I mean, at any point in time, you can't have like 7 guys at the top. But
no, there's only one number one.
Right, but at the same time, I do see the point that it's like they're just up. I mean, you gotta have for the yin, there has to be the yang.
Yeah, but I mean, today in modern times in 2012, in my eyes, they have more talent that could become future stars than they ever have.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because even in the Attitude Era, I mean, you had top guys, mid-carders who would never become top talent, and it's just like now you have like so many guys, it's unbelievable, and they keep grabbing every talent they can. They made CM Punk.
Honestly, I think they're grabbing too many people sometimes because now you have all these guys that are just standing around in the locker room with their fingers up their nose, not doing anything, because... I
agree with Kristol, yeah.
Say what?
I said I agree with Kristol. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, well, I would assume it would be frustrating to them because you would be wanting to do stuff, but at the same time, there's no room. But at the same time, there might be room if they cut down on some of the crap that nobody cares about anymore.
Well, I mean, they brought up CM Punk in almost no time at all, right?
I mean,
yeah.
True.
I mean, I wouldn't consider him as big of a star as John Cena in
definitely not
in the draw ability or the marketability aspect. I mean, obviously he's not like John Cena. John Cena's on the level of like what Hulk Hogan was doing.
True.
I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
For better or for worse or whatever. But I mean, I don't know if I see it like what you're saying, because in my eyes they have so much talent. There's plenty of guys that could,
Yeah, there's a lot there. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of talent there, potentially. And they're utilizing a lot of their guys, I think, to what they can. But as far as the fact that back in the day, them only focusing on those two, because like you said, there's only room for one at the top, but that kind of did leave a hole as for somebody to be their Professor Moriarty, to be their, sorry, the Sherlock Holmes is the only one that's popping in my head. Can't think of one that would be more popular.
Well, yeah, I mean, therein lies the problem, I mean, you got John Cena and you got Randy Orton, one's on Raw, one's on SmackDown, and then it's like, okay, you got this superhuman, you got Superman, who's Superman going to fight?
Right. And
then
a super villain. That's
exactly.
what we need, more gimmicks. Like, we have a big gimmick, like Kryptonite Man.
We really don't need that.
Oh.
But
no, because I mentioned this on one of your previous videos on YouTube. I don't know if you read it, but WWE has to sort of change with the times, because in the 80s, I suppose people wanted big, loud, gimmicky characters, so the WWE gave them big, loud, gimmicky characters.
Right.
You got Hogan, Jake the Snake, Macho Man, for God's sakes, Ultimate Warrior. And then during the mid to late 90s, everything, music, media, just everything became more edgier and more darker.
Even the logo.
Even the logo.
And the pay-per-view names became all satanic.
I know.
So you got guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin, whose ring gear is the simplest, basic, minimalistic black trunks, wristbands, and boots.
Well, if we change with the times, this is a scary thought for me. If we're changing with the times, wouldn't that mean that Zack Ryder and his Jersey Shore gimmick should be the main event? I mean, that's...
I mean, I don't know if that's really what wrestling fans want, though. I mean, you can't think about the world as a whole. You kind of got to think about who they're targeting.
Well, I mean, UFC, they lost a lot of fans to him. They
did lose a lot of fans to UFC, but that's because people are...
They brought Brock Lesnar in to fill that void, and, nobody, for the most part, really cares.
I mean, I think they're just caught because you have this big split. It's like there's a generation gap between the wrestling fans.
I agree. There is a generation gap.
And you can't please both because it's like...
You have the John Cena fans and you have the Attitude Era fans.
Exactly.
And they're butting heads.
Exactly. And it's like you have the kids who want to see John Cena that are, obviously really important, but then you don't want to lose all of your old fans to UFC. Like, they already lost a lot. And so it's just, I don't know, I feel like it would be hard for them to even be able to find a balance.
Have you guys watched NXT? UFC? Because...
No.
I have. I hate UFC. Sucks.
Yeah, I tried, and it was just so boring.
It's
just one guy I didn't know or care about versus another guy I didn't know or care about.
And they all have the same personality.
I'm gonna fight you.
I'll come from the streets, and I'm gonna cook your butt. I'm sorry.
Oh my god! And then they make them talk to each other. And it's like, I'm gonna beat you up, and the other guy reacts like, oh my god. Never in my life have I ever heard another fighter say that he was going to win instead of me. Never. This is the first time.
Exact sentiments on UFC. I am so glad that we agree.
Well, they need to improve their storylines.
Exactly. And then that I don't know, that agitates me too, because it's like people want to pretend that that in wrestling they want to see realistic stuff, but that's not what people seem to really want to see. I mean,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you would, if you want to model it towards society, I would be afraid of what the product would become because it would just become a soap opera, or I mean, like like the reality show.
A reality show, yeah, because that's what the whole society is trending towards. It's like, let's be real, but the stuff that they think is real, like reality shows aren't real.
No, they're like, oh wait, I didn't get a good angle of you yelling at her, so let's reshoot that. I mean, come on.
It's like this huge surge of wanting everything to be real, but it's totally fake. It's kind of confusing, actually.
Well, the thing is, when I realized when I was a kid that wrestling was fake, that I just decided that instead of just giving up, it's a show, so I'm just going to enjoy it like any other show.
Right.
These are characters, because you can't expect me to believe that Tensai or whatever doesn't beat up Sakamoto in public for not putting sprinkles on his ice cream or whatever it is he does. So it's not like they actually act like that.
Right.
So of course it's a show. They're just doing characters and...
Yeah, so I mean, if they made it realistic, it would basically look like UFC.
Right.
And that's just not marketable.
I mean, honestly, like, I think, considering everything, like, just kind of staying true to what they've been doing, I mean, to me it seems a logical course of action because you can't change every time there's a societal whim because then you'd be all over the place and you wouldn't have like a stable product to present to people. But
plus, if it was 100% modeled after society, you would have a drastic product change and everyone would leave and the product would die like every other show on television.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and at the same time, with the emergence of things like the internet and instant information. Yeah. You get to see that the world is such a diverse place that the most popular thing isn't the only thing.
Right.
So at the same time, you can't model it after society because society is such a wide, diverse thing that it's like, fuck it, you're gonna go crazy if you try it.
Right.
And yeah, things aren't just as black as white anymore. Like in the 80s, you were talking about that, and in the 90s, everything, was 90s feeling. But today, with information as fast as it's available and as fast as you can get it, things just change. Like the whole, AW thing. He gets fired, and everybody in the world knows about every single thing, every single thought that's ever entered his head. Back in the day, if a guy left, after 2 months, you'd be like, hey, where's that guy? I haven't seen him. And then he's on the whole presentation and the whole, realization or whatever of the people and the characters is completely different in the way you perceive it, I think, in today.
I think that WWE's done a really good job of using the internet, using the market to make themselves better rather than worse.
Well, they're trying to be, according to them, more interactive, and I think while they're doing an okay job of it, especially with wrestlers tweeting, almost talking, well, texting to the people, that's pretty cool. And I'm going to have to stop you because we're reaching the 15-minute mark. And just give me a second, we'll come back.
Sure.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that.
No problem.
And you know what? I freaking lost my train of thought.
It happens.
My train of thought just crashed. But the last thing I remember, something about
Twitter. You were saying they were doing a decent job of Twitter.
Yeah, with Twitter and Tout, that's really cool because it lets the audience get really into these guys. Because the way I would see wrestling is, you guys ever watch that old X-Men cartoon show, the one in the early 90s?
No.
I don't think so.
Damn. Well,
we didn't have cable.
Well, neither did I. I watched it on...
Okay, was it on regular TV?
Yeah. Well, the thing about that show is X-Men is such a large group of, like, superheroes. There's just so many different X-Men, and the thing is, there's so many, you don't have to watch all of them. For example, I never liked Cyclops. The guy's a stiff. I mean, he's a stick in the mud, so I would never watch Cyclops. Wolverine was cool sometimes, but Gambit was always my favorite, so whenever he was on, I would always watch him. So that's the way I thought of professional wrestling. There's so many guys, and they're all so different, I don't have to watch all of them. I could just watch the ones I want, and it'd be okay, because they're all doing something.
Right.
Interesting.
The only problem with that for us is, since we do the Raw reviews, we're pretty much committed to watch the whole show, unfortunately.
Yeah, you have to watch the whole thing, even the stuff you don't care about.
Yeah, but if I wasn't doing reviews, I guarantee you 3-hour Raws would not be happening in my house. I would be watching...
Honestly, they wouldn't be happening if there wasn't two of us to, like, tag team the 3-hour Raw. That's what we've been doing, basically, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't write 5 pages of... It's like college over here.
Oh, man, I wish I could do that. Just freaking, Tensai is on, it hurts my face, tag, I'm out, I'm gonna go watch nasty stuff.
Oh, my gosh. But what I do really like about the social media is, back in the day, I mean, you had no opportunity to have any conversations with wrestlers unless you sent them fan mail and somehow they message you back, or you somehow met them or whatever. Now I can tweet Chris Jericho right now at this very moment, and you know there's a possibility he might message me back. I mean, probably not. Maybe if it was Tommy Dreamer, I'm sure I would get a reply. But
well, I know if I tweet my boy Tyler Rex, he would reply.
Would he really?
Not right away, but he would.
He replied to me about a year ago, and that's the last time.
And you were proud.
I was so happy.
You were proud.
This is the first wrestler I ever got to respond to me.
But yeah, no, Tyler Rex has replied to me several times.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's also retweeted my stuff because apparently, I don't know, I'm assuming he thinks I'm funny or something, because whenever I tweet something, like a couple of weeks ago, right after they had their match with Ryback, he's all tweeting about how he's going to get back at Ryback, and Ryback comes out and squashes Jack Swagger, I think, and he just goes, feed me more for like 30 seconds before we go to commercial. And I tweet Tyler Rex, I'm like, dude, what happened? With the way you guys were tweeting, I thought you guys were going to jump Rice Suck in the ring right there.
And funny.
And then like 2 minutes later, Dan retweeted.
Nice. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I don't think that they could have done something like that even if they had the opportunity in the Attitude Era. I mean, how lame would it be for Stone Cold to be touting?
It would be pretty lame.
But I don't know. I really like the social media thing. I think it's cool because we can get on there and do hashtags, Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins. And
you can start a movement.
Yeah, I mean,
Save John
you know,
Morrison.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Hashtag Save John Morrison.
You know, it brings a sense of community to the wrestling world as well. Because, I mean, even through YouTube and Twitter and all that, I've met so many people that I never would have got the opportunity to talk to.
Like you.
Any other way.
Yeah.
Oh, like you, yeah.
Like us.
But, I mean, and so I think that adds to it because if you can build, you know, as a company, if you can build a loyal fan base and a community that everything centers around you, and people talk about you and they come together because of you, then that's a good thing to have. Because if I quit watching wrestling, it wouldn't just be, I mean, it'd be pretty easy for me to quit watching a TV show, but it's going to be hard for me to decommit myself to a YouTube show and never talk to anybody that I met there again.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I
all
mean?
the Twitter people and the YouTube people.
So
And,
so it's good to have that kind of commitment. I think WWE's going to do a good job with that.
I mean, that's really good because if you miss a few weeks, everybody's going to be like, hey, where are you at? Make my video. I put my coin in your slot now. You produce movie.
Sounded a little bitter there. You've actually been sounding a little bitter this whole time. You should scale back on the bitterness level.
Did I say something wrong with my introduction?
Oh, no. No.
Like,
it was not good enough. I want you to say it again.
I'm sorry that you can't see me rolling my eyeballs out of my head.
No, I just imagine it.
Okay.
It's like the great saying goes, for every great man, there's an even better woman right behind him rolling her eyes.
That's right.
No. Thanks for the support there.
Yeah, people power.
Oh, God.
No. That was
Speaking of John Laurinaitis, I heard they're cutting down his duties backstage.
Really?
Yeah, he's done.
Is he trying to retire?
Well, I think he's tired of getting complained at from every wrestler in the universe.
Yeah, that'd be a sucky job. Talk
Well,
about bitterness.
I heard one rumor that they're cutting down all his backstage duties so he could come back as a full-time performer.
Well, I mean, I don't know about the house show you were just at, but the one that we went to here in Little Rock,
he was there.
He came out and helped Big Show beat John Cena.
John Cena won, though.
I actually didn't see that match because my brother and I decided to leave early to avoid the traffic.
Oh.
That's so lame.
I know.
But, he came, Laurinaitis, it was weird because before the show they had a voting to see if Laurinaitis should be at ringside or not. And we're all in the crowd I thought he was fired, I mean, come on. And then, of course, everyone votes no, but he comes out anyways and helps Big Show, but he ends up getting an FU or an AA from John Cena. So I would not be surprised if he shows up at SummerSlam.
Well, the thing I liked about John Laurinaitis, and it's going back to what I said earlier about that one night that I really did like John Cena. I was like, I'm cheering for John Cena. It was when he just finished having his match with Brock Lesnar, and John Laurinaitis is there talking. Oh yeah, well I got a new opponent for you. And then Tensai comes out, and I'm like, wait, John Cena just said that Brock was a mercenary, come back to get rid of him. And I'm like, this is kind of a cool twist. Brock Lesnar is not the mercenary. Tensai is the mercenary that Laurinaitis brought in to knock off Cena, because Laurinaitis wrestled in Japan and Tensai apparently is from Japan, so that's actually pretty cool.
Well,
but then Laurinaitis bonks him on the head and goes, "Your opponent's me." I'm like, why? And then they do their thing. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool because we now have a villain, a guy we can all hate because we hate him already. And since he's general manager of Raw and SmackDown, he basically has all the power in the world to try and knock down John Cena.
True, but I don't know. The laryngitis thing, I liked it for a while, but I got tired of it. So, I mean, maybe since he's gone, if he comes back, I'd be more interested.
I mean, I think that the main problem, in my eyes, with WWE going downhill is they had everything in place to make a good storyline with CM Punk. Everybody was believing what was happening. Everybody was talking about it. They had Laurinaitis come in, and they screwed up the storyline. They killed Punk.
They abandoned things too quickly.
Yeah, they abandoned things, way too fast. I don't know what they're thinking, but in my mind, telling a story takes time. And I don't care how short somebody's attention spans are. Batman, we just saw that. It was 3 hours long, and I wasn't bored once. You can tell a good story, and it can take a long time. Some books are really long, and that doesn't mean that it's boring. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they just give up on stuff, and it's just irritating.
Yeah, I would say that'd be a big contributor.
I would think that WWE would be doing much better if they wouldn't quit pulling the rug from the fans.
Yeah, because it seems like as soon as something goes a little bit awry or the ratings drop just a little, they jump in and change everything, and I don't think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I read a report on the dirt sheets that the WWE writers are actually sick of that too, but it's Vince McMahon who keeps calling for rewrites, and the writers are trying to their best to make things make sense, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
I mean,
just
I don't
tragic.
know if I believe that though. Everybody blames everything on Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I mean, and if it's true, I mean, that sucks, but
Nah.
I don't know
believe that.
I don't know if
Sorry.
Triple H could do better. I mean, I think Triple H is very smart. I think he's, I don't know if he's Vince McMahon,
He's not Vince McMahon.
but
no one's
No.
Vince McMahon.
no one.
I really like Vince.
yeah, I mean, obviously
Nobody.
on the marketing side, but I think on the make sense in the wrestling world side, I think that Triple H would at least be a really good piece of the puzzle.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, going back to what you said earlier, I kind of almost couldn't believe that Triple H as a COO, that storyline was cut so early that he just became COO for like 3 months and then bam, replaced him with John
that was
Laurinaitis.
that was a good storyline. Like, I don't know why they killed it.
I was really thinking that, like, I thought in my mind that was like, oh my gosh, he's really going to start taking over slowly. He's going to become Vince McMahon. It's going to be one of those storylines that last like 10 years.
Yeah, but then he was
No.
COO, and then he wasn't, and then Vince was back.
Yeah,
it was weird.
And he's fighting Kevin Nash.
I mean, I was happy to see Vince back, but
yeah,
it was weird.
Yeah, to me, honestly, if they just phased out Vince McMahon like they did, I would have no problem with them being gone because it was a good send-off.
Agree.
I really, it frustrates me in a way that, 95-year-old Vince McMahon is still doing the thing.
If you look at it, though, it actually wasn't a good send-off because everybody was booing him like jerks.
Well, I know, but
So,
fans...
No,
maybe
that's not what I heard. I heard everyone was booing him, but then like for 30 seconds before it went off, everyone just started clapping, "Thank you, Vince."
But they were doing the na thing.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I heard.
Well,
I don't know.
I heard "Thank you."
I
Vince.
remember hearing "Thank you, Vince," but
I don't remember hearing that.
I remember first.
I remember being
getting
mad.
a whole bunch of but I mean, I'm sure it took a whole second for people to actually believe what was going on. I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time, so.
Yeah, I can't really say. It has been
Like,
quite a while.
I would say "Thank you, Vince" because.
No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. I mean, it's like Kronicz said earlier. Here was professional wrestling, some sort of regional thing that, well, let's face it, people went to the carnival to go see.
Exactly.
But now it's this worldwide conglomerate. I mean, it's almost. In like 10, 15 years, it might rival Disney. I hope it does, because it'd be more interesting than Disney. But yeah,
I love Disney.
me too. Well, I love Kingdom Hearts, but that's another podcast. And let's continue.
Oh boy, where do we even go from here, man?
Well, since we got all that out of the way, I'll think of something. You guys see that WWE movie with Edge?
I started watching it and I couldn't. I tried.
The one with Edge?
Yeah, the one where he's the cop or whatever.
Bending the rules.
Oh wait, no, I lied. That wasn't the one I started watching because that one wasn't on Netflix. I started watching The Chaperone. That's the one I couldn't make it through.
I did. I actually kind of liked it.
Really? I mean, that's
Really,
okay. It's okay to like corny movies.
I didn't see the whole thing,
it.
so I can't say. But yeah, I haven't seen the Edge movie though.
I thought the Edge movie might be funny.
I saw the Edge movie.
Yeah.
And really, Edge is not the main character, sort of.
Mm.
Like, you guys see Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, Jamie Kennedy, the other actor, he's Will Turner, and Edge is Jack Sparrow.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's kind of the... Hold on, you guys are sounding weird.
I don't know what. Kind of lean back. Is that better?
No, there's something wrong with the microphone.
I don't know.
All right, now you're sounding okay.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes perfect sense though. What you said about pirates, so.
Yeah, and the other thing I heard about is that I think I saw this on the special features or YouTube. The director said that he wanted to make a movie about with Edge in it, But then he, the ultimate opportunist. But then he met the guy who really is Edge, Adam Copeland, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say his name since I'm just a fan, but then he met, Adam, the actual guy, and he was so impressed with this guy over the wrestler, persona on TV, that he said, wow, I want to make a movie around him instead. So
It's interesting.
Well, judging by Adam Copeland in his documentary by WWE, he wants to be referred to Adam Copeland. He doesn't want to be referred to as Edge after he retired and everything. And so I thought that was kind of cool. He can actually let go of wrestling and move on with his life.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
I really want wrestlers to do that.
I know. And
Because
I know.
when I heard rumors of Chris Jericho retiring, I said, if Chris Jericho retires with sound mind and sound body and nothing's broken and he can function just fine and be a rock star, I'd really like that.
Me too.
I know, it'd be nice.
I don't think
that until they kill themselves. It's stupid.
I mean, people get
Yeah.
addicted to the, that rush and that feeling of being in front of crowds.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to kill yourself over it. I mean, there's wrestlers who are on wheelchairs, for God's
I know.
sake.
I'm not defending it. I'm just pointing out the reasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I would rather my wrestlers retire without being in wheelchairs or dead or whatever.
After a while, it's just sad.
Yeah, it's pathetic. I mean, it really is. Like, to go on and on and on and on and end up still at the end with no money. That's just embarrassing.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, if I heard, that Chris Jericho was going to retire after the next WrestleMania, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good enough career. I mean, I wouldn't fault him, at least. I might be a little sad or something, but I wouldn't fault him. I don't want him to end up like a crazy man.
Yeah, me neither. And plus, I've been watching that guy since WCW. I mean, I remember when he came on the screen and saying, I know 1,001 submission holds, 1,085 armbar, 26 the Mexican three-legged chair, the next one, armbar again. And I remember him since he was the Lion Tamer. So after watching everything he did, I wouldn't mind if he just said, I think I'll be a rock star full time.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. But, I mean, Chris Jericho's had a crazy career in and outside of the business, but...
Yeah.
Oh, man, that is a podcast.
Yeah, it's, right now it's about 33 minutes long.
Yeah, we'll probably have to go, but, I'm sure, obviously, we got like 1,000 topics to talk about in the future.
Yeah.
If you have.
Yeah,
We can do it again.
Yeah, whenever you guys want to come back and do a show, just let me know and we'll do something, because it's always great to have guests and makes the time go longer, because I can't be having 4-minute podcasts every week.
Oh, I understand. That
bad.
doesn't even constitute a podcast, my friend.
No, it does not. It's a mini cast.
That's not even a commercial on TV tracks.
I don't know what that is.
What, TV tracks?
Yeah.
It's like a YouTube channel that just takes clips of podcasts and interviews off the internet, and it just kind of like puts like one particular topic, and it'll have a link to go to that podcast, when wrestlers are on or whatnot. I think it's like a marketing ploy or something, because there's a really bad podcaster out there who really sucks in every way, and they sound like they have no idea what they're talking about, and they're featured every day. So I think there's something going on there, but.
Well, I hope I'm not featured there then, because I would like for it to seem that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they'll take just the worst thing you said, just the dumbest thing you could have possibly said. They're going to put that on the website and be like, "Look at this guy." I mean, really. That's what would happen.
Then I guess I'm an easy target. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh yeah.
Uh.
All right, but yeah, thanks for having me on. I'll definitely have to come on here again. There's so much stuff to talk about. It's unreal.
Yeah.
I don't know how I ever existed as a wrestling fan without all this stuff.
I know it's odd. Now you can't imagine life without it. Yeah, I think I'll tweet Tyler Rex right now.
Nice.
Yo, bro, fuck it. I'll do it later. Well, thanks everybody. This has been Strife on the Mic with. You guys, introduce yourself.
Kronicz and Kristol. Kristol just went in there and is watching Star Trek. She jetted out on us early.
From the most extreme wrestling